glutes and legs. So that's, let's do that. You got it? Thank you, Candace. See if you can shift that breath into the low belly. And with each expansion on the inhale, press it even further down toward the floor. As the breath reverberates toward the floor, you might begin to feel it expand to the outsides of the ribs, on the right and the left, and the space between the hip bones and the bottom ribs. And if you keep expanding, you might begin to feel it in your low back or the space behind. With each of those inhale breaths, you'll feel the room begin to grow a little bit. You can add more breath. And then it's only natural for us to slow the body and the breath down a little bit more. I'd like you to find a balanced breath. So we'll find a numerical count that seems to match the pace of the breath. It could be a 3 or a 4. It could be 5 or 6. But on your inhale, count the breath 1, 2, 3, 4. And on your exhale, count the breath 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue like that with whatever numbers work for you. Trusting the numbers match the breath, not really the other way around. And then that you're not seeking to start or stop the breath, you're just simply marking the passage of time with the pace. We'll come back to this practice at the end of class, but for now you can release your count and just take a couple of deep breaths where you're at. When you're ready, begin to bring some action in your fingers and your toes, your face and your eyes. Coming back into the room, sighing it out, and making your way down onto your back. Roll all the way down, and go ahead and set yourself up for a bridge-like posture. We'll do my sort of typical warm-up that we do with the arms and the legs. So feet flat, yes, hip-ish distance or so apart. And then you go ahead and press firmly down into the toes and then rock a little along the feet to feel the difference between the heels and the toes there, connecting with the earth. Inhale and exhale. Finding what seems to be the sort of flattest or maximum contact underneath your body with the earth. And once you've got that, without gripping the fingers or the toes, exhale deeply, and then inhale, just lift the hips up to the sky, so a little bridge here. And then it's exhale right back down to the earth. Let's do 3 of those. Inhale, it's hips up, but try not to just do it with the hips. Squeeze the booty a little too. And then exhale to slowly lower back down. We're trying to shoot for that even pace the whole time. Inhale. 1/2 of the breath is half of the movement. Exhale. The other half of the breath is the second half of the movement. Take a neutral breath here. Inhale. Now let's do inhale, arms up, just straight to the ceiling, that's fine. And then exhale, arms back down. See if you can slow that down. Take the full inhale to lift the arms up, but you'll also feel the shoulder blades press into the earth. And then exhale, sweep those hands back down by your sides. They don't touch till the end of the exhale. And then you inhale one more time. And then exhale, hands back down. Right away, let's go inhale, hips up for bridge pose. Stay on the exhale and hold. And then inhale, arms up. Stay on the exhale, hold. 1 full inhale here. And then exhale, both back down. Separating the belly and the arms, we'll do it again. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, stabilize. Lengthen the inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down, the back of the neck long. 1 full inhale here. And then exhale all the way back down. And then one more time like that. It's inhale, hips up. Stabilize by relaxing the toes, pressing through your inner arches. Inhale, hands up, reach for the fingers, draw the shoulder blades down. Inhale, full length in, and then exhale all the way back down from there. Go ahead and tick-tock rights and lefts, lefts and rights. Just a little extra activity here to wake up. Perfect, and then we'll hug the knees into the chest and rock a little bit side to side. All right, feet back down, but this time let's take a wide stance. So we're gonna go toes out, heels in, but heels might be lined up with the outside edges of your hips, and then toes are even wider out, maybe even off the mat, pointing out to the corners of the room. Exhale deeply and inhale up for that wide bridge pose, and then kind of shift around a little bit until you feel fairly stable up here. It should be a little bit easier. There's more space for the hip flexors, there's more space for the hamstrings in this wide-legged position. And right here I want you to fire up the booty and push a little bit more up to the sky. Now from here it's kind of hard, but send your weight toward your knees, so toward the front of the mat, and then make the back of the neck long. So you're sort of tractioning, reverse tractioning the low back by pushing in opposite directions. Exhale deeply, inhale, lift a little higher, and then lower all the way back down. Now I feel that in all sorts of different ways than a standard bridge pose. So let's scoot the heels in a little closer to your body. They tend to slide away. In that one, exhale deeply, inhale, lift up, bridge pose again. And you should feel fairly stable here. If your heels are not underneath your knees, wiggle the heels out more. So they need to be under the knees, maybe even wider, toes point out. Perfect. Now, glutes on, push the hips up to the ceiling, and then exhale, lower all the way back down. We're gonna do one more. Inhale up, bridge pose. We'll do 3 breaths. So it's a inhale, hips press up. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, lift a little more. Inhale, hips press up, knees press forward. Exhale, fire up the glutes, go a little more. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, a little more. And then use the exhale to roll all the way back down and tick-tock once again. I like a wide version of tick-tock, keeping those feet far apart. Gives me that sort of passive stretch across the outside of the hips. Okay, and then wiggle the toes into the middle and squeeze your thighs or knees together. Now, if you happen to have a block handy, you can grab your block and squeeze it in between the knees. Press the toes and the knees together. The back of the neck nice and long. Either way, keep the thighs glued together, even if you don't have a block there. Exhale deeply. Inhale, lift up, bridge pose. Squeeze the booty, lift a little higher, and then exhale to lower all the way back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift up, squeeze the inner thighs, relax the toes. Exhale, lower all the way back down. If your knees aren't quite touching, you can turn the toes in more, heels out a little bit more. Exhale deeply. Inhale, lift up, squeeze the knees together once again. Keep them glued together, and then we'll do 3 breaths. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, squeeze the booty. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, squeeze a little more and lower all the way back down on your next exhale. And then move the block and wiggle it out. Maybe this time pick up the knees and bring them up into the chest, shake them around a little bit. Awesome. Let's do some half happy baby. So grab the left knee into the chest, set the right foot down. Lengthening the back of the neck here, press firmly down into the back of the hips, flatten that part, and then slip the hands behind the knee and send it up to the sky, or grab the foot. Maybe circle this ankle around a few times while we're here. Other direction if you went one way. And then if you want to draw the knee down toward the shoulder a little more, you can reach up, grab the foot, pull it in. I like the right foot flat here. It doesn't need to be extended. Either way, slide that left ankle across the right knee in a figure 4 setup. Flex the left toes up toward the left knee. Press down through the right foot. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. One-legged bridge pose. Now left hip drops down, that's fine. Pick it back up and keep flexing the left toes. Back of the neck's nice and long. Press through 2 elbows and see if you got your robot arms here. Fingers can point to the sky. I get a good IT stretch here. There's lots of different ways. And then let's just push up a little bit more with that right side. Lift and then lower all the way back down. Shake out the left leg. Wiggle, wiggle. Okay. Right leg goes up. You can grab the back of the knee and circle around a few times one way or the other. As you work the knee down out to the side, think about that left hip kind of pushing back toward the mat, especially the back of the left hip. It's more like the sacrum. We want to be flat so you're not tugging at that tiny bony protrusion at the base of the spine. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Big inhale, big exhale. And then glide the right foot across over to the left knee. Flex the right foot toward the right knee and then press down into the left foot. Lift up. Single leg bridge on this side. Easy to drop the right knee and hip down. Try to squeeze them up and push the weight toward the front of the mat and toward the back of the mat. So you're using the foot to pull you forward and the crown of the head to reach behind you. Robot arms can be helpful. Squeeze the left side just a little bit more. And then exhale to lower back down. Release the right leg, shake it out. 2 soles of the feet together. Keep those feet further away from you, not close in, but slide them toward the front of the mat so your butterfly pose is knees out. Exhale deeply. Hands down by the sides to start. Inhale, lift the belly up so you're in a butterfly bridge. Press into the edges of the feet, squeeze the glutes, and see if you can use those inner thighs actually to push up more toward the ceiling. And then exhale to relax down. Let's get the cactus arms or robot arms involved, excuse me. Bend at the elbows, press into the backs of the elbows. Inhale, lift, hips up, squeeze the feet together. Focus on pressing inner thighs to the ceiling, not the knees. And then exhale to lower back down. One more time, squeeze feet together. Exhale, use the back of the elbows long through the back of the neck. And then lower all the way back down. Let the knees fall open and then bounce back together and hug them in. Give them a squeeze. Woohoo. Exhale deeply, and then go ahead and rock and roll a few times to get your way up, all the way over to tabletop. Woohoo! Tabletop time. We got our dead dog here. Spreading the fingers out nice and wide. Exhale deeply. Inhale, heart forward, tail lifts. Exhale, rounded spine. Couple more like that. Explore. Take it if you like to one side or the other or both. And then we'll come to a neutral spine. Inhale, lengthen the back of the neck. Exhale, engage the belly, draw it up toward the spine. So flat back as if somebody was standing on the back of your hips. Press the crown of the head forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, just hover the knees. One inhale. Exhale, set the knees down. Send hips back toward the heels. You can keep the toes tucked and long for a little bit of a child's pose or toe breaker combo here. Just a little stretch to the bottom of the feet. Spread the toes out nice and wide, but press against the hands. Try to lengthen the back of the neck and the spine more toward the mat. Finish the exhale and tuck the chin. Round up through the spine. Drag your hands back underneath you. Exhale. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, rounded spine. Inhale, heart forward, tuck toes. Exhale, hover knees, hug elbows toward each other and keep your weight slightly forward. Exhale, set the knees down. Hips back toward the heels, slide the arms forward. One breath here. Inhale, pull yourself back up to cat pose. Exhale. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, tuck toes, lift hips, go ahead, downward doggo. And pedal, pedal, pedal. Rights and lefts, lefts and rights. Enjoy. Okity dokity. All right, friends. However you get left foot up for tabletop, go ahead, or warrior 2. tabletop. If you want to go through tabletop, go ahead. That's what happens when you jam two sentences together and you don't say all the words out loud. All right, we're up. We made it. Draw the belly in, as I often say. Tail works down. Active engagement through this inner thigh. Perfect. Bend into the knee as much as you got. And then lift and spread your toes. And I want you to shift your weight from your left foot to your right foot. And see, it's more almost like a hip pop, bend knee, hip pop kind of situation. And find what feels like more or less the neutral position. We'll hold for 3. 2. 1. And then hands to hips, straighten the left leg, give that leg a break. Let's do a side stretch. Left hand up to the sky. Pretty standard reverse warrior, but we've got our extended left leg here. So you got lots of space, lean back a little bit. Right hand can come down toward the back if you like, but just keep pressing the point of the left hip up and forward. Yeah. Awesome. Hands come back to neutral first and then rebend the left knee, get into that warrior 2. We'll take extended side angle. Had a blank there. Push against the left elbow, right hand straight up to the sky. Really easy to back out on your left leg here. I want you to bend into it more. And then push the 2 hips toward the side wall. Upper body, it's sort of back, but make sure you're not compensating. Tuck your butt under and press your elbow into your knee. Inhale, back up through the warrior 2, and then we'll take it all the way down. Find your way back to a plank pose. And lower down if you like. Downward dog or child's pose, tabletop, something acceptable in between sides. All right, it's right foot, front of mat, warrior 2. Again, pick up the feet, the toes. Don't pick up the feet. If you could, that'd be cool. And rock from knee, inner arch. Maybe pop the back hip, bend the knee a little bit more, and try to find what feels like you're about just in the middle. It's more akin to surfing on dry land than it is to, say, riding a bike, because you're literally trying to float and allow the extremities to do the wiggling. Give the hands the break, straighten the right leg most of the way. Push down through the inner arch first. Then lean up with the right hand. Up, 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 right hip pushes up and forward. Now, if you have a tendency to grip with the toes here, think about moving the right knee out toward the side of the mat and the 2 hips toward the left side. And then inhale, back through, elbow comes to thigh, push against it, push against it, pushed against it, and then left hand up to sky. Now, most of the time we've taken the bend, not completely, but a lot out of the right knee. Rebend into that knee, please. Push knee into elbow, and then tuck tail under even more. That's it. Inhale back up and through. And then exhale down. Push back with control. Use the exhale to complete the lowering down, the inhale to create the lift on a backward bend. If you want to add more into it, go ahead. End up in downward facing dog. Coming down to the tabletop position. Go ahead and flip 2 palms over, press the backs of the hands down, give them a little stretch. Maybe even add a little extra cat business here. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine, finding a nice, stable, wide stance for hands and knees. Think about elbows slightly hugging together, and go ahead and send the right foot straight back, keeping the hips as level as they'll get. We're going to have a couple of different options here. We're going to first inhale, lengthen, exhale, right knee up to right elbow. Inhale, lengthen, straight back, re-square the hip, bend the knee. Exhale, lift the foot. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, straighten, and then bend the knee. Exhale, lift. Let's do 2 more cycles like that. So straighten the leg, knee to elbow. Straighten the leg, then bend the knee, donkey kick. 1 more. And then set it back down. If you like, I always do flip that right hand back over, wiggle around a little bit more. That's my treble wrist, so the more I have it flexed flat on the floor, the more I feel it. Okay, we'll switch sides. So leveling and squaring, that's pressing elbows toward each other, squeezing hips toward each other, re-extend the left leg. Hip will pop up, that's fine, try to keep it down. Exhale, deeply bend left knee to left elbow. Inhale, straight back, bend the knee, donkey kick. Inhale, exhale, slow side crunch. Inhale, exhale, donkey kick. 2 more. Trying not to drop the elbows. Drop the shoulders as you kick up. 1 more. Really trying to isolate this in the glute on that donkey kick. Bend the knee, press up. All right, extend the leg, shake it out, flip the other wrist. If you like, wiggle around. And then go ahead and walk the hands forward to the modified plank. Land on your belly. Whew. Let's go hands in front of your head, forehead down on your mat. We'll first start with just the right leg. Exhale deeply, lift the right leg, and it's natural to point the toes. Let's flex them. Hug the heel toward the midline and press the heel back toward the back of the wall. Awesome. Exhale deeply. Set that leg back down, relax. Let's do left leg. Point toes, lift up nice and long with the left foot first, and then flex. Push through the heel, push the front hip down as you press the back heel toward the back of the room. Exhale, lower, back down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, bring 2 feet together, soles of the feet together, the opposite of what we did earlier, at least with the, now we're facing down. Press those 2 feet together and wiggle those knees out to the side as far as they'll go. Now, if your ankles are super collapsed, I want you to bend the knees more and bring the heels close to your butt. Squeeze in with the feet, exhale deeply, and then lift the knees off the floor. Head stays down will actually make it easier. So press the head into the mat, squeeze the booty, and then exhale, relax down. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, exhale, lift, squeeze, press the hips down, press the feet together, press the knees out wide, lower down, relax, ooh, wiggle out. I got some hip cramps there. Shake out the toes and set the feet back down wherever's comfortable. Okay, let's focus a little more on the low belly. So, cactus arms, elbows out to the sides. We'll do the opposite. We're going to keep the feet down. Press through the tops of the feet and the hips. Exhale, inhale, lift the chest. And you find yourself in a really wide Sphinx pose. All right, let's just do one hand at a time. So you're going to brace your core just thinking about it. Think, oh, I'm about to lift my right hand. There goes the belly. Press the hips back down when you do that. And then set the right hand back down. Think about the left side. Oop, left hand comes up. Press the hips, press the toes back down. Exhale, lower. Let's do both. Inhale, hold. Lengthen the back of the neck. And lower back down. Okay, focusing on 2 legs, squeeze the ankles together. Press the hands down, that's fine in cactus. Press the elbows down, that's a bonus. And now lift 2 ankles, 2 feet. Flex those toes toward the floor. Press those heels toward the back of the earth. Doesn't matter if they come up that high, just squeeze your thighs together. Lower all the way back down. Take a break, shake it out. Exhale deeply. Hands come back underneath you. We'll push back up to tabletop. I think a child's pose might feel really nice here to lengthen the low back, lengthen the neck. And then exhale and roll up into your cat pose. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, tuck toes. Downward dog. Woohoo. Okay. Left foot comes to the front of the mat. Let's find warrior 1. Right heel spins down, wider stance. Arms, let's sweep them up wide and high. Come up overhead. So very easy to stay here with no bend into the knee. Let's do as much bend as we can get with the right leg still connected to the earth. As long as the whole foot is pressing down, inside, outside edge, you're good. But bend into that left knee. Now you really start to feel it, so see if you can actually send more weight backward. And it's not just upper body back, it's rotate the hips backward while bending into the left knee. Yeah. Makes for a more sustainable warrior 1. But we're not going to stay here. Hands to heart center. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. One more. Rock back. This time, inhale, rock forward. Exhale, draw it all in, lean forward and launch. Maybe just drag those right toes. Now, Flex the foot toward the floor. Press the heel toward the back of the room. Square the right hip. Woo! Bend the front knee to get back to warrior one. Sweep them up wide and high. And then reach out of the waist, bend into the left knee, and backward bend. Don't be afraid to bend into the left knee. It'll get you a deeper backward bend. It doesn't make sense intuitively. And then inhale back up to neutral. Exhale your way down. Take it back to plank, tabletop, downward dog, or all the other stuff. I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you. No. Right foot makes its way to the front. Find a stable, but maybe even somewhat longer warrior one stance. Sweep it up wide and high. Bend deeper into the right knee, so long as that left foot is glued to the floor. You still, Candace, might want to pull that left hip forward by moving the toes. Yeah, up, there it is. Hands to heart. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This time, inhale, reach forward with the crown of the head. Flex the left foot as you lift up off the earth. Press the heel back. Press the head forward. Belly and body can come down, but make them one line. Whew. Rebend the front knee to bring you back to warrior one. Stabilize. Sweep up. Keep the bend. And lean back. Use that left foot to create the backward bend. Push into it. Top of the hips backward, Natalie. Yes. Inhale up to the top, all the way down, back to plank. Back to down dog, back to child's pose. Tuck the tail, round up through cat back, inhale, cow belly, exhale, down dog, left foot, front of the mat, warrior two, windmill up. Let's bind the right arm behind us. Down to the sacrum is probably the best place. It could come and sneak around. But keep the bend in this left knee. Flip the left palm, reach up and long. All right, I just gripped with my toes. Try to release them if you're holding on to them. Now come back through the warrior two. Release the right hand to the hip, left elbow down. You might have done this before with Karen. I love it. I need you to look at the floor at your big toe, hop your right foot forward a few times, and push into your left elbow as you lift up. Right foot comes up off the floor. Push the elbow against the thigh. Bend of the knee will actually help. Yeah. Flex the right toes and pull them up and in through the inner thigh. Very nice. Woo! Rebend the knee, keep the contact. Set the foot back down. It's slightly less graceful. Windmill up to warrior two. Adjust it. Straighten the left leg again. Left hand to sky. Lean back. Here's your side bend. Reach a little deeper out of the waist. Inhale back through the warrior two. Second to last time. Go ahead, step back. Right foot makes its way to the front for warrior two. Windmilling up, bringing left hand behind, sweeping right hand to sky. Keep the bend in the knee. Inhale back through the two. Left hand places to waist right. Forearm on thigh. Look down at the right big toe and hop the left foot. But that pressure against the forearm and the thigh bone is key. Bend into it and launch. Lift the left heel. Try to keep contact. Might take you 1 or 2 or 12 times. Flex the toes. And with control, as much as we can muster, let gravity do the work. Bring it back down to warrior two. Give yourself a break. Straighten that right leg. Reach up. Out of the waist. Fingertips, hips forward, tail under. Press through the heel in the right foot. And then all the way through, it's the last time, as promised. Plank and down to child's pose. Take a breath or two. Okay. Tuck the chin, inhale, exhale, round up through cat back. Inhale, cow belly. Exhale, downward dog. Take a breath or two, tabletop or down dog. And then looking forward, use the inhale to create the momentum, the exhale to finish the breath, and move to the front of the mat. Nice. Nice. And then come all the way up. Awesome. Candace, grab your blocks here. You want them on either side. We're going to go figure four style with fold, but we'll start with the figure four. So let's go ahead and throw the right foot up here. Now, it might be easier to bring it up higher. That's fine, because what's happening is the hip is dropping back. I'm losing those sort of hip square connection. I want to press 2 hips forward, even if my knee points out of this jaunty angle here. Flex the toes like we've been doing, and then we'll do 3 breaths. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Squeeze in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, get down there for your half pistol type. It's not a pistol squat. And then find the blocks or the floor. Now, if you have the floor, don't immediately drop your right hip back. Keep it forward, squeezing in. 2 knees are actually squeezing toward each other, and then lengthen your fold. The leg straightening is what happens last. I want the fold first and then the leg to straighten. So belly might hit the thighs like you would in a normal forward fold. Keep flexing that right foot. And then, if you're still comfortable, you can straighten the legs some amount. And if you're still comfortable, Natalie and Lisa, grab the back of your left leg with your left hand, squeeze elbow in, hug it, and then consider whether adding the right hand to this balance. Elbows hug in will help, knees hugging in will help. Lift the right knee up a little, Natalie, and right hip, yeah. It's fine. Y'all are doing great. Awesome. Okay. And then slowly, slowly, slowly scoop the tail under, bend the knee, and come on back up. Very nice. Yeah. Woohoo, shake that side out. Yeah, it's good stuff. There's lots that you do from there. Grasshoppers one, flying pigeons another. There's funky binds and stuff, and none of which are that important. Left ankle comes up. Rather than having knee and hip drop down and back, you keep the hips squeezing in and together, even if that means my foot's way over here on the outside. And then you bend, and then you stand back up. Squeeze in as you exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. And then begin to add to the fold. So, again, tempting to drop the hip and the knee back and out. Keep them coming in. And belly to thighs is first, then you straighten the leg. And the leg does not have to be straightened, but you can start with the right hand hugging the back of the calf. The right elbow is pushing the foot or the ankle up toward the waist. The head relaxes, jaw relaxes, and then you combine with 2 hands and maybe you straighten the leg more, maybe you get more hamstring or IT stretch, excuse me. Maybe there's a really funny, stupid bind. Lost it. Spinning in circles. There you go. Bend the knee. Release the hands, scoop the tail, come on back up. Woohoo! After last night and today, even regardless, my legs are done. Y'all did it. That was the challenge for us. How are you feeling?
Good.
Yeah? A little jello-y? Yeah. That's what I was going for. Sometimes when we're fully exhausted, like we actually can't hurt ourselves, or we're less likely to go too far because the body just doesn't have the muscular strength. So it's like a middle ground of being tired enough but not too tired that you're too weak, And so when we're doing intense things like that, you want to be mindful, but you also don't want to be like cranking anything or cranking on the hamstrings. I was going for this stupid bind here, but the easier posture from that to play with is your flying pigeon. And then the crazy one, which I can't get into because I can't twist, is the twist outside to get into grasshopper. So there's all kinds of different preps from there to play. All right, sit down. I was going to do a transition and I got ahead of myself or forgot. We should have plenty of room, though, now that we're here, to play with our archer pose and our sleeping yogi pose. So let's start with the right foot up. And rather than pulling it in like this, because we just already did a lot of that, try to pull it up and back. Now, I start with it inside here, good place to go. Back of the calf is a great place to hang on here, if you're supporting it. Or you can slip and begin to pull this elbow up and this knee back further. Now again, I'm sort of popping hip up. Try to lean a little forward, push that right ischial tuberosity down, create as much space, and then you release your left hand and you try to get your big toe. If you get a hold of it, you do the, can you hear me now? You can also kick up and do something like this, but I don't know what that is. Or not. There you go. And then you're playing guitar hero pose. All right, switch sides. So you'll grab left leg, start with them hugged into the chest. Piggy, 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 can't you see? Sometimes we do yoga in the morning. I just love your doggy ways. And then you try to get, this one I can do, so it must be a hip flexor limitation. I gotta lean a little to get it.
Maybe one arm is longer than the other.
Woo, there it is. That's a much more reasonable explanation. Okay. So we'll go back to the other side. Pull it up and in. And this time, place your left hand under your left heel. Flexing actually does help because it keeps this engagement in the inner thigh. This is not about hamstring extension as much as it is about squeezing and using adductor engagement to lift up through the inner arch. Now, again, leaning forward and using that hip will help. You can switch the grip to the outside and then bring the left hand down, right hand down to create a little bit of leverage, but keep hugging in, twist away. Coming back in and release. Other side, this one comes up. It's plenty warm. Left hand lifts up, left foot remains flexed. Leverage under, but lean forward into the left ischial tuberosity. Push against the floor, press the heel up and away from you, and begin to turn. Now it's easy to dislocate that shoulder to get it there, so keep squeezing with your top arm. Use the bicep strength. Yeah. And release. There's a standing version of that called Bird of Paradise that's even more challenging. It's a very similar setup with the bind with the arms, but you get into it in a completely different way. That's kind of bananas. Okay, on your backs, roll on down. Rather than do 3 more backward bends, I'm just going to ask you for 1. But if you think you have a wheel pose in you with 2 hands over your ears, over by your ears, and pressing up to wheel, I'd like you to take wheel. But if bridge is your jam today, start with the feet a little wider than you think. Exhale deeply. Inhale, make your way slowly up into your backward bend. And once you're up there, I want you to breathe 5 deep breaths. Think about inhale, lift the hips and the belly. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, the backs of the thighs, the calf muscles. Even use the heart and the chest to press backwards and the knees to press a little more forward. Give me 2 more. That's it. And when you finish, with control, all the way back down. Hug it out, shake it out. We've done a lot with our hips and knees and things like that. If you do feel like a twist here, that might feel nice on one side and then the other. Take another moment here just to finish out whatever you've got before we settle into our final resting pose.
I got nothing.
You got nothing? Perfect. That means we did it right. The sensation of giving it all and having some leftover is important, because not like you need more, but like you've had enough. It's that trigger where we think, oh, I'm full. That's usually our signal to stop. Not because you couldn't fit more in you, not because you couldn't do more, but because we learn the best place to be right in the middle. Big inhale, big exhale. Now I promised we'd come back to our breathing exercise, though I didn't leave a ton of time. So I'd like you to guide yourself in to a Samavriti Pranayama, equal fluctuation breath, with at least 5 rounds of balancing your inhale and your exhale. Now make sure you start with a big sigh and sort of clear it all out. And if it takes you a couple of breaths to get there, that's fine. But whatever inhale count you inhale to, exhale to that same number. Remember that the number is not so much the goal as allowing the breath to balance itself. And after you've finished 5 or so rounds of your equal fluctuation breath, let your count go and sink into your Shavasana.